Hey guys, it's Alex Ivie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, it's going to be a little sister story time. And I will be telling you guys the story of how I met Sting. Sting is like a singer-songwriter. Sting was big in the 80s and 90s. The film Leon the Professional has a really good soundtrack, and one of the songs in there is A Shape of Heart, which Sting wrote. So if you haven't seen Leon the Professional, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing film. So let me start back to the beginning. When I went to London, England to train at the Malby Academy, two of the instructors that I just were just amazing were Kevin and Richard. So Kevin is an actor, performer in theater, and Richard is Richard is just like a beautiful human being. He plays piano, he knows music, he just helped me with my vocals, all around beautiful human. I was in there singing class because we were split up into sections. It just, the way he would just bring light into my life was just wonderful. Kevin was just so supportive as well. He would give me different things to add and to take away from my performances. For instance, I shift my feet a lot when I perform, especially when I'm just singing a solo, because I'm just I need to be doing something else, but I don't. I just need to sing and just be there in the moment. At the end of the week, I'd talk to Richard and Kevin. I just want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. They're we love working with you too. And I was oh my god. He also mentioned to me that he could be doing a show in Toronto. So a couple months passed and my mom was able to connect with him on LinkedIn. He found out that Richard was coming to Toronto to do the musical The Last Ship. So The Last Ship is about Sting when he lived in a small town, and it was about the people who worked there. So a lot of the workers there build the actual ships. So when I found out that Richard was doing that musical and he was coming to Toronto, I was oh my gosh, we need to see this musical. So we kept in contact, and by the time I was able to see the show, it was near the last few weeks of the show. When we arrived, we found Richard. He came out literally 15 minutes before the show started. And he even said Kevin's in the show too, and I was oh my god, bless. And my mom got to meet Richard, and my other family friend also got to meet Richard too, which was amazing. And then we sat and we got to watch the show, and honestly, The Last Ship is such a really nice show because it's so stoic, but then shows such vulnerability in it. There are a couple of songs that have the same melody as Sting's original songs, so I thought that was really cool because he did write the music and he's in the show too. So after the show, we see Richard again, and he's able to take us backstage. So I got to see the backstage, where the equipment is and the dressing rooms and stuff. And the best part about it was he took us on stage, and I got to see what the performer sees from the stage. You see every single seat and just all the people that you're gonna be able to connect with as you tell the story. And I was oh my god, this is amazing. The night's coming to an end, and Richard was hey, if you come see the show again, you can actually sit on stage with me. And I was I'm sorry, what? And he was no, you can literally sit beside me as because he plays piano on the stage and gives cues and direction to the orchestra and the singers that they need. And he's would you like to do that? And I was yes, please, yes. So 2 weekends later, I arrived at the show because he told me we're all blacks a little bit, I think an hour or two earlier, and we got to, well, actually it was just me. I went into the rehearsal room where all the cast was stretching, doing their exercises, dance warm up, and then as they were stretching, I sat there, just kept to myself. And then they're okay guys, plank, and everybody just dropped down and did this 2-minute plank. So I'm in my little outfit and just doing a plank, and I was okay, breathing. I try not to shake, and then they do vocal warm-ups, and then Kevin sees me, give him a huge hug, and he was oh my god, how are you, and I was I'm good, it's so great to see you. Because Richard introduced me to the cast. He's this is Alex, and I was hi. And then I noticed Sting was there, so then I was oh, hi, I waved to Sting, and I just looked at me and was the most nonchalant, chill person. So then they now go to the stage and they do their vocal warm-ups there. And then this is where I sit beside Richard. He's playing the piano, and I get to see where Richard sits on the stage. And then he hands me this control panel, and I was oh, what's this? And he's this is where you could highlight all the sounds. And I was this is cool. So I had a field day with that. He was going over the music and stuff. and they're all sounding like beautifully, and then they do some like they go over some like blocking, some like fight choreo, and then they all like get ready for the show. This is about when like the show is about to start. He shows me like, oh, this is where like the instruments go. And I was like, oh, okay, makes more sense. And I got to meet like each of the orchestra like members. My favorite was the bass. Like while on that control panel, I highlighted the bass so hardcore because like it was so good. So as I was like meeting them there, and I'm like walking back, it's like dark because the show's about to start in like literally 5 minutes. I see this like hand go out and he's like, hello, and I was like, I turn and it's like, it's Sting, and I was like, oh, hi Mr. Sting, it's nice to meet you, my name's Alex. And he was like, oh, nice to meet you, like, do you like the show? And I was like, oh yeah, I've already started already, and I just can't wait to like get a whole new experience with it this way, and I'm really excited. And then he was like, oh yeah, you know, thank you so much, I hope you enjoy the show. And I was like, yeah, me too. And I was like, break legs, and then I left, and then I saw Kevin again, and I was like, break legs. I sat with Richard, and then the show started. I had my little headphones in, and I got to control like each sound in each song, and during like one song I would hit like literally 9 different buttons to hear every single player, to the violin, to the bass, drums, to like Richard giving like his little cues, you know, because he's Australian, so he was like, all right guys, that was very nice, let's go back and let's have a hold for that one again. All right, nice. It goes to intermission, and I meet Ollie, who plays Gillian. Yeah, he plays Gillian, I believe. I had like a chat with him for like 10 minutes. The show like started backing up. Like I get on stage again, I get into my zone. I'm like flipping things, like raising the volume, lowering it, like yes, vibes. And like next thing I know, the show's like over. And then they were just like doing their bows, and I was like, okay, like it's over. Like, and it was just, I didn't want it to end. I also got to meet Richard's fiance, who's in the show, and she's literally like the sweetest woman. They have like a little son together, so I hope they're doing really well. It's so crazy to me that like they literally take an entire production and just like ship it across to a whole nother country, like to Canada. Like it's crazy. I recommend the musical. And the last ship, it's awesome, it's so good, the songs are fun and fresh. So with that is the story of how I met Sting. I just want to say thank you so much to Richard for being so kind and for giving me that opportunity. His beautiful fiance Orla, Kevin. Thank you so much to the cast and crew for being so kind and so welcoming to my mom and I. And thank you to Sting for creating such a cool musical. My mom for just being a queen and for making it happen. Thank you so much for you guys for watching to this video. I hope you liked the little story that I meandered. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Don't forget to give this video a big like and subscribe and leave me a cool comment down below. Bye guys!